How you doing? I'm s3e19 and this is my review of the Have and Have Nots. If you can take a minute to please subscribe to my channel. You'll see all my links in the description box. My Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, everything. So, feel free to check me out on all my other sites. My website is www.webseriesandmovies.com, where you can see my web series. Soon my independent film will be on air, but I also do the latest entertainment news. Today I just put a photo shoot that the cast of Empire did for season 2. So if you haven't already seen it, you can check that out on my website. But if you've already subscribed, I would love to thank you. And just please like and share. I really appreciate everyone who's been supporting me, both here, Facebook, different places. If you're a Facebook friend of mine, then you know I post tons of entertainment, news reviews, photo shoots, everything on there, political stuff, just stuff to make you think, Black history, everything, sexy stuff. But you're here for the Have and Have Nots. So I'm going to do this like I did it last week. I'm going to watch the show live, and every commercial break I will come back and discuss with you what I thought about it. So let me watch the show, and I will see you on the first commercial break of the Have and Have Nots. Hey guys, we just reached the first commercial break of the Have and Have Nots, and it was one scene with the reunion between Hannah and her grandson. And when she tried to give him a hug, he said, "Ow." And, they pulled his shirt up and he had all these infected, marks where he probably was beat. And, the scene was fine. No problem with the acting. Everybody was cool. But, one little thing. If the moment that Hannah hugged him, he was like, "Ow," well, Benny carried him in and was holding him by the back, so, why didn't he say "ow" when Benny was holding him? So, little nitpick, didn't make any sense, but, the show should be back on, so let's go check it out.
Feel.
Guys,
it's okay to care.
The show's still on. The fuck is this shit?
Looking at where you come from and look at where you are.
This is some bullshit.
I'm gonna go. No, I'm not letting you go. No,
this is some bullshit.
I'm not gonna let you go.
What the fuck? Oh no, Candace. I don't want to fuck you.
I get it.
I just want to hold you.
I understand what you're
because
going
I want
through.
you to have feelings. The fuck is this shit?
Do me a favor, okay?
This can only be written by a gay man.
All your pain,
I'm sorry.
all your fears.
No heterosexual man, and this is nothing on Tyler Perry. This is just me, 101 to you. That
Let me help you.
this shit here is either written by a gay man or a woman. A woman that's watched too many romance novels and shit. Read too many romance. The fuck is this shit I'm watching now? Oh my god. And before this scene, the one with Benny, where he's talking about, well, maybe we shouldn't take the kid to the doctors. What about the pharmacist? What the fuck is that? The kid's got fucking infections and shit. And he's like, well, maybe we shouldn't take him to the doctor. And then what's this with Hannah crying? Oh, now he's holding the bitch. The fuck is this shit? Now we already know he gonna be a fucking working for Jim or working for David, and that he's trying to screw her the fuck over and probably trying to get her money with that pyramid scam, and she all falling for the shit. That ain't Candace, okay? And then what about Hannah crying and shit? I can understand her praying. But what about Hannah crying and shit? Instead of taking the kid to the doctor, wipe your face and hurry the fuck on.
Leaving us to pick up the pieces, leaving them murdered.
And something about Candace's phone got dropped in a tub, so now she's got getting messages. We already saw in the trailer for this episode that the kid's gonna talk to her, but
her doing so.
I just had to turn this on because my real reaction while this is playing, this is it. Bullshit. That's my real reaction. Okay. Now I'm gonna get back to the show, but I really had to give you my real reaction to that.
I don't like it when you lie.
That bullshit. Bullshit.
How did you?
Hey, I'm back. Like, I had to stop and talk to you in the middle of that scene because it just blew me away with the bullshit. And, you know, it just continued with the hospital with Hannah's like, where's Candace? Because she ain't answering the phone. And then it switched to Jim and Catherine. And I'm just going to rewind this for you because the dialogue, if you can call it that, I'm a writer. So if I ever write some shit like this, please email me, Twitter, Facebook.
Been out here for hours.
Listen, I know. Pause.
Good book.
Good book.
Horrible.
Horrible. One word. Pause.
Why are you reading?
Why are you reading it?
I had to.
Had to. People don't talk like this.
Look, we're
And you see the pauses in between them talking?
Long drive. I want to go inside with some rest.
Pause.
Rest? I don't think I'll rest again after we miss the gym.
This part right here. He's like, what are you
listen.
reading? She told him in the last episode that she found Amanda's diary and she read in it that he raped her. So what else would she be reading and what else would make her upset? This is what gets me with the have and have-nots. It started off really good, but it's going back into all of the shit that just annoys the fuck out of me. The bad writing, the bad acting, the bad dialogue. You know, I'm still watching almost like a train wreck that I can't stop. You know, I want to see the dead bodies. You know, the storylines, I actually do like the storylines. I just don't like the way they're written. And actors like John Schneider and Tika Sumpter have done so good in so many other projects. It's like, is it the directing that's making them do this pause talking? Like in Curry Washington Scandal. They have what they call scandal speak. And that's when they talk really fast back and forth. They call that scandal speak. This have and have nots speak is just like, people don't talk like that. It does not flow naturally. Now, every couple episodes, you might get a scene where, or even an episode, I don't know if the directors are changing or what the hell's going on. But, you know, this is not how a soap opera is. This is not like Empire. They talk normal on Empire. They talk normal on every show that I know of, except they get reality shows talk normal, and that's scripted as fuck. Okay. Alright. It's the commercial. I'm going to go to the next scene. We're at the half-hour point. So let's hope it gets better, because we get some scenes with Wyatt in jail. But I don't know how they're going to cram all this shit with a half hour left, where we saw in the previews that they're going to go see the professor and they're going to go see Wyatt. And they wasted so much time on the shit we really don't give a shit about. This, you know, shit where they're saying the same shit over and over and over and over again. God damn. Okay, having not fans. Finally a scene I like. Did you ever think the day would come when Aaron O'Connell, who plays Wyatt, is the best actor on the show? You ever really think the day would come when he basically was just eye candy for like 3 seasons? But as I said in my first review, which has gotten almost 12,000 views at this point, Tyler Lepley, Mule, and Aaron O'Connell must have had acting lessons, because they started the second half of season 3 actually acting. although Tyler's sort of taking some steps backwards, I think it's the script, not him. But his more aggressive Benny, and his opportunity to have more emotion with his character, it's helped out a lot. Wyatt, I was actually shocked. He was crying, looked like real tears. It wasn't like, they threw some Visine in his eye real quick and then put the camera on him. He looked like he really found that moment to do that part of the show. So, I liked it because they had the pauses in the talking, which I hate, but they didn't have it as much because of the dramatic tense that the scene was in. When he asks them a question and they give him facial expressions and things like that, and then speak, that is how it's kind of done. But the other way they do it is just horrible. It's horrible, okay? But that was like a really short scene they threw in. I'm guessing that's the only scene they're going to show with Wyatt this episode. But I think because they decided to let Wyatt stay in jail at least one more day, something bad probably happens to Wyatt while he's in jail. That's just my guess if I was writing it. That it's because they didn't let him go at that moment when he was obviously crying and learned his lesson and definitely don't want to go back to jail. Leaving him in for one more day probably is going to lead to something traumatic. But that's just me thinking that there's going to be good writing on the show for a change. Like I said, I like almost like the outline of the show. The way it's designed storyline-wise. But once they put the dialogue in there, they start to lose me. But I'm sure the commercial's back finished. And Have Not On is back on, and I will be back. Benny convinced the social worker to let him and Hannah see the grandson. They saw Quincy, who was seeking medical attention. Hannah was able to calm Benny down to make sure he didn't beat his ass again in the hospital. This actually was a pretty decent scene also. But as I predicted before, Catherine is talking about she hopes nothing happens to Wyatt. And Jim is telling her he knows everybody, everything will be fine. I just feel like it's foreboding. And if I'm right and I'm catching the subtext, then something bad's gonna happen to Wyatt before Jim's able to get him out in the morning for the press conference. So that's it. I'm not gonna talk too much because it's winding down. But I said I'll check in every commercial, and it's almost over. All right, guys. Because I've been pausing to talk to you and whatnot. I didn't realize that, Have-Nots has been moving forward, and, so I was a little bit behind. I was looking at real time, not the time, that I had to pause to do these review. But what just happened was, Benny's still trying to contact Candace so that they can not have the kid go into foster care. And the big thing was Jim and Catherine finally confronted the rapist professor. But I have to say, I appreciate the scene, but you're on a campus with all those kids and they all have cell phones and not one was video recording it. I don't think so. Soon as they even get a hint of a fight, they would be recording him. The judge about to turn governor, and it's weird because the professor didn't know that this was Jim and Catherine Cryer when they've been all over the news. And I'm saying, if I had done something to your kid and you were famous, at least within whatever city they're in, Atlanta, then it's not like they're not well-known people in the community. Especially when somebody's running for governor. You know, when somebody's running for governor, everybody knows who's running for mayor and governor and different things like that. So it didn't make sense that there was no one video recording the fight, and that, you know, they wouldn't be smart enough to corner him at night or at his house or, you know, in his classroom when nobody's there. That way there'd be no witnesses. They're too conniving to be this sloppy, even in an emotional state. Because they've had more than enough time to get themselves together to confront him. But I'm on to what I think is the last scene of the night. Okay, guys, that really was the end of the Have and Have-Nots episode, and they pulled the trigger. Wyatt got raped, just as I predicted, from the subtext of Catherine saying, "We need to get him now." You know, Jim saying, "One more day," and then you kind of knew something bad would happen. So Wyatt got raped, and we'll see in the next episode, I guess, the aftermath. We see in the trailer for next week. David's saying, "I have a bad feeling he's not as safe as you think he is. You need to go get him right now. I have a feeling he's going to be really traumatized." So, Jeffrey, if he didn't want dick before, he really ain't gonna want dick now. But I have a feeling that they're gonna turn Wyatt and Jeffrey into a love story. So I think he will eventually want the dick. But trust me, you know, as somebody who's been molested, you know, the last thing you want to do is have sex with a man after you've been violated by a man. So, yeah, that happened. They also finally got in touch with Candace, who told her son, "I've been looking for you." Lies. But she thought he was dead. But she's on the way. But also you see in the trailer that Hannah's going to try to get custody of the son from Candace, which I read like 4 weeks ago on Wikipedia. But yeah, quick tip, Wikipedia. They tell you what's going to happen with Have and Have-Nots like several episodes in advance. So I watched that, look at Wikipedia for spoilers. And finally, just want to say once again, please like, subscribe. You can friend me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, all that kind of good stuff. And, you know, please subscribe and watch my videos and let people know about them. And let me know what you want me to review. If there's something out there that you really think I should be reviewing, let me know. I'll review it. I'm going to review Empire, is like my favorite show. So that's already on the list of future, you know, reviews. And I'm going to put a really good clip of my show, Phoenix Remains Thirsty, at the end of this. It's a fast clip, but it's one of my favorite clips to introduce you to one of the characters on the show named Ava. Ava's a bad bitch. You know, when I wrote my soap opera, I really didn't want a bunch of weak women or women that necessarily needed men to come save them. So Ava is the epitome of that. She sword fights on the web series. She does lots of things. She takes big ass men down, flip them over her shoulder, you know. And you know, in this scene, she's being hunted. She doesn't know that her husband is involved with the mob, and he's a mob doctor, and he's trying to get out. And as a message, they've sent somebody after his wife, Ava. But Ava's that bitch. So you go, she's jogging, and you go hunt her down in the woods. Yeah, she got something for you, as you're about to see.